What's up, Southpaw? This is Nick back with episode 26 of the Southpaw Spotlight. In this episode, I want to talk to you about how eating more can sometimes help you lose weight and or lean out. What we see frequently is that people who have been trying to do this on their own for a long time, they've been trying to lose weight and they start restricting the calories more and more and more to a point where they're eating very little. A few carrots, maybe some mini donuts, or whatever that happens to be, a protein shake, and it's to a point where their body actually starts to slow down their metabolism. So they are not burning nearly as many calories during the day, whether they're exercising or not, because their body is going to adapt to this homeostasis. Now, what we've seen is that when we get people on a healthy functioning nutrition plan, we have a tool that we can use to help measure, we call your basal metabolic rate, which is how many calories you burn at rest every day. From there, if we work with you as an athlete or if we don't, we have a number of ways, kind of a comprehensive overview that we determine your activity level. And that's going to give us your total caloric expenditure each day. There's a ton of different nutrition protocols and programs out there, but they all agree on one thing. If you want to gain weight or add a bunch of muscle mass, you need your total caloric intake to be over your expenditures. And if you want to lose weight or lean out, you need your intake to be under your expenditures. Now, that being said, if it's too low, that your metabolism slows down and your total caloric usage is going to eventually even out and reach a homeostasis. So there is a point, if you start working with a good nutritionist and you've been struggling to lose weight, even though you're not eating very much, you've probably been feeling very have very low energy levels. Your workouts haven't been very good. You don't have the motivation to work out. You're sleeping a lot or tired all the time. And that can often be a function of that the total total calories that you're doing. I'm getting confused with this. So what I would suggest is using something like an InBody or a way to measure what your caloric need is for that day, and then working with a nutritionist. One of the big benefits of working with somebody who has some nutritional training is that they're going to be able to help you reset this. It also is not just about having those numbers. We've given a lot of people numbers and seen them not do very much with it because it can be tough at first getting started. I made a previous episode about how to get started with tracking, and that's a great place to start. But oftentimes we see that we need some accountability. Just like with fitness, places like LA Fitness, Lifetime Fitness can be phenomenal places to train. But they've done studies, and over 83% of their membership doesn't actually come to the gym. If everyone who had a membership there attended, they would be put out of business because they wouldn't have space for it. That's one of the big reasons why CrossFit has a higher price point, is that we help encourage our members to show up. Your coach is going to be there. You're going to get to know people, and it creates this accountability system. When you pay for something, you value it more. So if you really want to get serious about whether it's weight loss, leaning out, muscle gain, whatever it happens to be, I would really encourage you to work with a nutritionist. We have a 3-month minimum at Southpaw because typically in that first month or two to 6 weeks to 8 weeks, you're going to have to kind of reset that metabolism, or your progress is not going to be substantial. But once you get into that 1.5 to 3 month range, it's so cool to see what happens there. And we don't adhere to this rapid weight loss stuff. Oftentimes what happens is people do that. It messes up their metabolism and they end up gaining it back. And we call that they're kind of cycling up and down, up and down, up and down. And they do that for a long time, the yo-yo cycle. So we would much rather create something that's sustainable, where you can lose a little bit of weight each week. And when you look back after a few months, it's so cool to see where you've come. We have some people do before and after pictures, others don't. They look at some metrics that we use, but it gives you a sense of pride in what you're doing, and it helps show you that what you're doing is worthwhile. And that can be very tough on your own, because if you're doing that, and you try to start eating more calories to pump up your metabolism and start losing weight, you're not going to see that happen in the beginning. And at least for myself, I get this internal sense of doubt. And then I stop doing it altogether. It's not working. Why would I keep doing it? So having that outside accountability, paying for something that you value can be so helpful, because you put your money where your mouth is, you invest in what you really want to do, and it allows you to see some really cool results. So that's a thing I want you to think about if you're trying to lose weight, but you feel like you already don't eat very much and you're wondering how to get to that next level. That can be a very useful trick, and we utilize it in nutrition training for any number of people in different circumstances, but that's one of the most common things that we'll see. Take care, guys.